Hi, my name is David Hudspath. I'm going to teach you some tricks with an ordinary deck of cards. Here's something you can do right now. Dottie, I call this the nun trick. Here I have the Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts. As I deal the cards onto the table, you just say stop anywhere you like.
Stop.
Right there. Place one queen there. And once again, anytime you like, just say stop.
Stop.
And here. Now all I have to do is go through and remove the two queens and the card directly by it. There's the Queen of Hearts. And over here we have the Queen of Diamonds. And you'll see why I call this the nun trick, you see, because they always find their sisters. To do this trick, place one black queen secretly on top of the pack and the other black queen on the bottom of the pack before you begin. Put the two red queens face up on the table, and now just start to deal the cards singly, one at a time, onto the table until you're told to stop. At that point, place a queen face up and drop the deck on top. Continue dealing singly, one card at a time, onto the table until you're told to stop. Place the other queen face up, put the deck on top. By doing that, you place both black queens above the red queens, and all you have to do is go through and remove the face-up card and the card above it, and the other face-up card and the card above it, and you'll have found the matches.
There you go.
Thank you. Dottie, I'm going to take this pen and push out some cards, and I'd like you to just take a peek at that card. Remember what it is. Don't forget it.
Okay.
Have you got it?
Yes.
Just push it back into the pack then, and give the cards a cut. Concentrate on the color of your card and only the color, okay? First thing I'm going to do is try to match up that color, and I believe it was this color. What color are you thinking of?
Red.
Red. I've got a red card. Now concentrate on the suit of the card, just the suit. Is it a diamond or a heart? I believe it's this suit. What suit?
A diamond.
Diamond? We've got a diamond. And now concentrate on the card itself. Nothing more, nothing less. I think I've got it. What card were you thinking of?
The 5 of diamonds.
Really?
Yes.
Got it again. The secret to this trick is very easy. Take a shuffled pack, push a pen into it, push out a block of cards, have them look at the top card of the block. What you'll do is look down into the opening here. You'll be able to see the card above their card, in this case the 5 of diamonds. Now, even though I don't know what their card is, I know the card directly above it. So they'll push the cards together, they'll give the cards a cut. All I have to do is go through and find that 5 of diamonds right there, and the card directly below it will be the card that they looked at, in this case the Queen of Diamonds. Reveal that card just a little bit at a time, and you've got a good card trick. Okay, Dottie, now that you've shuffled the cards, give them a cut. Just cut off about half the cards.
All right.
And by looking at this card, I can tell you that this is the Jack of Spades. Let's try that again. Just give the cards a cut.
Okay.
And all I have to do is look at this card, and I can tell you that this is the Queen of Hearts. And let's try it one more time. Just give them another cut. And without looking at anything, I can tell you that this is the 10 of clubs, and this is the 5 of spades. And there they both are. The secret to this trick is very simple, but may confuse you, so watch closely. All you have to know is the identity of the top card, in this case the 5 of clubs. When they cut the cards, you already know that that's the 5 of clubs. So by looking at this card, you look at it and name what this card is, the 5 of clubs. You have now looked at this card, in this case the 5 of diamonds, and put it right back on top. So now you know the new top card. They cut again, you look at this card and name the 5 of diamonds, the card you just looked at. Now I know what this card is, the 3 of clubs. I put that on top, and for the ending, when they cut it, remember I know this is the 3 of clubs, but I don't know what this is. So I miscall them. I say, without looking, this is the 3 of clubs. I pick it up and I look at it, in this case the 4 of clubs. And then I say, that is the 4 of clubs. And you pick it up and show both cards, and that's the trick. Okay, Dottie, can I have the cards back now that you've shuffled them? I'm going to go through and make just a couple of predictions. There's one, and here's the other. We'll place those down, and if you would, just cut off about half the cards again.
Okay.
Fine, and we'll just do like that. Now, you have no idea what these two prediction cards are that I set down. Perfect. We're going to take the cards from where you cut. In this case, we have a red jack, and we have a black 7. Okay? And the two cards that I placed on the table, They happen to be a red jack and a black 7. To do this trick, take a shuffled pack of cards, and as you go to remove your 2 prediction cards and place those on the table, just take a look at what 2 cards are on the bottom of the pack. In this case, I have a red queen and a black king. So all I do is leave those on the bottom and go through and pull out a red queen and a black king and place those face down on the table. Now that's those 2 there, and the other 2, remember, on the bottom of the pack. Have them cut off about half the cards, and then take the bottom portion and angle it onto the portion they cut. Now what that does is they're going to think that that's where they cut, and you need to draw attention away from this for a while. So you just talk about these 2 cards, then pick up this portion, which was the original bottom portion, and show the 2 cards, a red queen, a black king, and then show that you found the mates to those cards. Here's a story of 4 kings who had tickets to the theater. 1 king parked in the lower level, the other king parked in the upper level, and the last 2 kings went in the main entrance. Well, it didn't matter because their seats were reserved, and they found themselves sitting next to their dates for the evening. Evening came to an end, and the queens went one way and the kings went the other way. Queens and kings separate from each other. Mix them up a little bit, put them below the table, and try to match them back up magically. Here we have the hearts together, and I'll try it again, and we've got the diamonds together, and we also have the spades and clubs together also. Each queen with her king, each king with her queen, together at last. But then things got really mixed up. And faster than you can say D-I-V-O-R-C-E, the kings and the queens were separate. To do this trick, which is actually 3 tricks routine together, you need to remove the 4 kings and then have the deck set up ahead of time also. Simple stack. On top I have the queen of clubs followed by the queen of spades. On the bottom I have the queen of hearts and then the queen of diamonds. That's your setup. Show the 4 kings, tell the story, take the king of diamonds and place it second from the bottom. Take the king of spades, place it second from the top. Cut the cards, then place the king of clubs followed by the king of hearts and drop the deck on top. Now all you have to do is go through and the cards will be matched up with the proper queens. Okay, kings and queens together. Separate the kings and queens. Now in order for this next trick to work, they have to be in the same suit order. And that's the way they come out if you follow this the way I've done it. So we've got the same suit order here in both of them, and we're going to do a false shuffle. The way you do this is just take a few cards off the top. Now push off a few cards from the bottom and put those on top. Now just push off a few more from the top and put those on the bottom, and then take the last one. So if you do it at speed, it almost looks like you're mixing the cards, but really all you're doing is cutting them. Put the cards behind your back, below the table, whatever, and then just simply reverse the top 4 cards, put those onto the bottom, and now peel off a bottom card and a top card, and they'll match up. Here we have the diamonds together, here we have the spades together, here we have the clubs together, and of course here we have the hearts also together. Be careful here because for this next segment to work, they have to be matched up in suits, but they also have to be going queen, king all the way through, or king, queen all the way through. It doesn't matter. So here I have one out of place. I'll just reposition it. And now you can show that they're all together, kings with their queens and queens with their kings, and then do the false shuffle one more time. Put them behind your back under the table, and now to separate them, just simply push up every other card below the table or behind your back and strip them apart, and you'll have separated the kings from the queens without looking. Dottie, go ahead and take out a card. Look at it, remember what it is, and if you would just place it back in here as I cut the card.
Okay.
Right there. Okay. Now I'll spread the cards onto the table like so, and if I could, I'd like your index finger of your right hand. Great. And I'm going to grab right here and feel your pulse, okay? Now, as we go over the cards, I should be able to feel something when we get near your cards. So let's see. We'll just start to go over, and nothing yet, and I feel something. Did you feel it?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are we by your card?
Yes.
Great. Let's see here. Maybe this one. Oh. Was it 2 of clubs,
Yes, it
Dottie?
was. 2 of
Fantastic. The secret to this trick is called a key card. In other words, you know the bottom card of the pack, in this case the ace of spades. Have someone remove any card from the pack. In this case, we'll use the queen of hearts. Start to cut cards onto the table in small packets until you're told to stop by the spectator. Place the queen of hearts there, and then you'll drop the card that you know, the ace of spades, right on top of it. So even though you don't know what card they chose, you do know the card right next to it. Spread the cards onto the table, and you'll see the ace of spades, and right above it is the card they chose, the queen of hearts, and then reveal it as I did in the presentation. Dottie, I don't know if you know anything about marked cards, but as you know, all cards are marked. Like there's a king of hearts and there's a 6 of spades. They're all marked on the face. 6 of diamonds, obviously. Marked cards are marked on the back, okay? I don't use marked cards, but some people don't trust me. So here, take the cards in your hand and give them a couple of cuts. Just cut them up a little bit. That's great. Now, I think you'll admit, even if these cards were marked, there's no way that I or you could know the identity of the card that's on the bottom at this very moment. Is that correct?
Right.
Great. Without looking at it, just remove the bottom card and sit on it. Fantastic. Now, I still won't look at any of the other cards, so we'll just put those into the box, and I'll put the whole thing into my pocket. Okay? Now, I'm going to concentrate, and I believe your card is a red. No, it's a black card. A club. I believe it's the jack of clubs. Would you take a look?
The jack of clubs.
The secret to the marked deck of cards is actually a stacked deck. It runs an ace through king order all the way through. You start off with the ace through king of clubs, followed by the ace through king of hearts, followed by the ace through king of spades, all the way down through the ace through king of diamonds. Now, by bringing the cards out and cutting them a few times and showing that the cards are all marked on the face, you're showing them that all the cards aren't the same card in the pack, which would be an explanation for this particular trick. So just cut them a few times, straight cuts, hand them to the spectator, let them cut them a few times, hammer in the fact that there's no way anyone could know the bottom card at this point, which is true. Have them remove the bottom card, sit on that card. Now all you have to do is look at the bottom card of the deck, and you know what their card is because they follow in order. Here we have the jack of diamonds, which tells me that this is the queen of diamonds. Now, if you remember in the presentation, I never looked at the bottom card. I simply took the cards and put them into the card box. And then I put the box into my pocket. Well, the way this works is because on the back of the card box, I've actually cut a little opening so that you can see what the bottom card is. So when the cards go into the box and you go to put them into your pocket, it's a simple matter to look down, note what card is on bottom, and then reveal the card that they're sitting on, in this case, the queen of diamonds. Dottie, what I'd like you to do is just reach down, cut off about half the cards, lift them up, and then take your thumb and press right against the face of the card you're looking at. Remember what it is. Now give those cards a cut.
All right.
Put them on top of the pack.
Okay.
And then cut the entire pack.
All right.
So now you've chosen a card and you've lost it in here, and you've put a thumbprint on it, correct?
Yes.
Can I see your thumb that you used for that? This one here. Okay. All I have to do is study those designs, see, and all I have to do now is go through and try to find the card that has a little bit of a residue. Oh, I think it's right here. Was that your card, the two of clubs?
Yes, the 2 of clubs.
Fantastic. The secret to the thumbprint trick is our friend again, the key card, except this time it's the card on top of the pack. This will throw off a lot of people that know the trick. In this case, the ace of spades is on top of the pack, and you have them cut off a small packet, and they place their thumb against it. Remember that card. And now they cut the cards. Well, I don't know what this card is, but I know my ace of spades is going right by it. And then they put them here, and they give the cards another straight cut. And all you have to do is spread them out, find your key card, in this case the ace of spades, and this time it'll be the card below it because my key card was on top, and remove the card, the nine of hearts. Dottie, I'll remove a few cards from the pack here, and they don't even have to all be from the same spot. We'll just take out a few, and you'll see why in a moment, because I really don't want to use the whole deck.
Okay.
Let's get just a couple more. Random cards. Now this is what I want you to do. Just take any one of those cards and get a good look at it.
All right.
Don't let me see it. And then place it back on top. And we'll give the cards a cut. And now I'm going to try to find your card by your voice. This is what I mean. Look, without even me looking at the cards, and I haven't looked at any of them yet, I'll just hold them up, and what I want you to do is each card I hold up, say, that's my card, and I'll be able to tell when you're telling the truth. Now you can change your voice pattern as much as you want, but every card I show you, say, that's my card.
Okay.
Okay? Here we go.
That's my card. 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 That's my card.
You see why I didn't use the whole deck?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my card.
Uh-huh.
That's my card.
Say that again.
That's my card.
That is your card, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
To do the voice card trick, once again, we're going to use a key card, which I've used throughout this tape. This key card is a little bit different, however, because what I've done is take a straight pin and I've pushed it through the pip corner here and on the other side. Push it from the front of the card towards the back, and you'll feel a couple of little bumps up there that you can feel with your thumb. Now this card was on top of the pack when I began the trick, so I removed it first, which puts it on the table, and then you can remove as many as you want from anywhere in the pack. Just get yourself several cards out, set the deck aside, and remember your key card that you can feel is on the bottom of this packet. Now have them remove any card at all, and they look at it. In this case, the 7 of clubs. It goes on top, and you cut the cards. Well, that puts your key card right on top. Now, even though you haven't looked at any of the cards, and you're not going to, you can still find their card. Just take the cards at the upper right-hand corner as you show it to them, and just start going through the cards. Now, what you'll do is you'll end up feeling the key card. I feel it right here, which tells me the next card is the one they picked. So pick it up. They say, that's my card. Would you repeat that, please? And they say it again, and you say, you're right. That is your card, the 7 of clubs. Dottie, I want you to think of your favorite hour in the day, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever. And then I want you to remove whatever hour you're thinking of. Let's say, for example, 2 o'clock. Okay. Just take 2 cards off the pack silently so I can't hear. Okay. Hide them under the table, and let me know when you've done that, okay? So whatever hour you're thinking of, just remove those cards and hide them under the table.
All right.
Fantastic. Okay, now I'm going to make a prediction over here with a piece of paper and a pen, but I don't want you to see it. Okay. And I'm going to write it down. Let's see. Let's do that. There's my prediction. I've committed myself, all right? Now you're thinking of an hour, so I'm going to remove 12 cards to represent all 12 numbers on a clock face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, all right? And then we'll lay those out in clock formation. That'll be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, that's 3, 4, 5, there's 6, 7, 8, that's 9, 10, 11, and there's 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Now, without even looking at the cards or touching them in any way, I can tell you that you are thinking of 5 o'clock?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes,
fantastic. So let's go down to 5 o'clock here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And turn over the card that falls there, in this case the ace of spades. And remember my prediction that I wrote and laid down here ahead of time?
Yes.
Would you take a look and read what that says?
Ace of spades.
Now this trick is another application of the key card that you can feel, that you don't have to look at, like we used in the previous trick. That card is positioned 12th from the top. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 cards down, I have this key card that I can feel. Below that, you have to know what card that is. In other words, the 13th card from the top, and in this case, it's the Ace of Spades. That's going to be your prediction card. So that's all on top of the pack. You make your prediction of Ace of Spades like I did and place it down. Have them think of any hour at all. In this case, let's use 4 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4. They remove those cards and they hide them under the table. Now, all you have to do is remove 12 cards one at a time, reversing their order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now lay them out clockwise from 1 o'clock all the way to 12 o'clock. But as you do, feel for your key card as you're laying them out. Now I felt the key card right here at 5 o'clock. I know you can't see that, but it's right there. So when you feel that, just go backwards 1 hour, in this case 4 o'clock, and you now know that they're thinking of 4 o'clock. You feel it 1 after the hour they're thinking of. That card, even though you've revealed the total, which is quite amazing, gets even more amazing when you turn it over and show the Ace of Spades, which was the 13th card. It always works out this way. Show the prediction that you wrote, and you've got one heck of a trick. Here's a little gambling trick using 3 jacks and second dealing. We'll take the jacks, put them on top of the pack, and I'll deal out 2 hands of 3 cards. And look, I've dealt those jacks back to myself. I'll put them back on top of the pack again, and we'll deal them again. There we go, 2 hands of 3 cards, and there's the 3 jacks again. 3 jacks on top of the pack. I'll do some second dealing one more time. Deal them out, and you still have 3 jacks. I'll put the jacks on top, and now we'll deal a poker hand. 5 cards. And look, I've dealt those 3 jacks to myself one more time. But this time I gave them a couple ladies to keep them warm. But why would I deal you a poker hand like that? Well, only if I was going to deal myself a royal flush in spades. To do this trick, you need to set the cards up from top to bottom. It's a 10-card stack. You have a red jack, then a black jack, another red jack, then the queen of spades, then the jack of spades, king of spades, red queen, ace of spades, the other red queen, and then the 10 of spades. So these cards go on top of the pack, and you show the top 3 as being the jacks, deal them onto the table. Now when you deal yourself the 3rd card, you always scoop it up. Use it to scoop up the other 2 and put it on top. And then you can show that these are the jacks. Just put the odd colored one, in this case the black one, in the middle. Okay? These go back on top, and you'll do it a second time. Once again, the last card you deal yourself, you use to scoop up the other 2, put it on top of the pack. Again, show 3 jacks, put the odd colored jack into the center, put the jacks back on top. Do it a 3rd time. Remember to scoop up your 2 cards with the last card you deal yourself, put those on top of the pack, and then show 3 jacks again. Once again, the odd card in the middle, in this case the black one. Put these on top, and now deal a poker hand of 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th one, once again, just scoop up all your cards. You can then show that you have 3 jacks over here, and then show a couple of ladies to keep them warm, and then come down here and show that you've dealt yourself a royal flush in spades. Dottie, I'm going to take my thumb and just kind of run down the side of the pack, and as I do, just say stop, okay? So anywhere at all.
Stop.
Right there. We'll turn over the cards at this point, and you could have stopped me anywhere, and we'll come down to the first face down card and put it on the table, okay?
Okay.
Let's try that again. Anywhere at all, just say stop. Right there? Okay. And we'll go through again. Once again, anywhere you could have stopped me, and we'll take the first face down card we come to here. Once again, right there. Okay, you're getting good at this. That's great. We'll go through to the first face down card and put it onto the table. And one more time, anywhere
Stop.
right there. All right. And once again, any of these cards, and they're all different. And you've stopped me at 4 different places, and we've taken cards from 4 different spots.
Okay.
And you told me where to stop. Can you
Right.
tell me this? How did you know to stop where the 4 aces are? To do the trick where you find the 4 aces, you have to stack the deck. Take the 2 black aces and put another card on them. Leave these face up. Now take any other card and put it face down onto that, just one card, and then put the other 2 red aces face down on that. So you've got actually 6 cards, 2 red aces and an indifferent card, then a face up indifferent card, and 2 black aces. This goes on top of the pack. Now all you have to do is run down the side until you're told to stop, and at that point just simply reverse all these cards onto the top of the deck. Now if you run through until you come to the first face down card, that will automatically be an ace. These cards that are face up always go to the bottom of the deck. So put those on the bottom and remove the top card and place it to the table. Now you repeat this a few times, 4 times to be exact, and you go through until you find the first face down card, put these face up cards to the bottom, and deal this to the table. Now it's important to remember that as they say stop and you go through, that you never spread farther than these, because if you spread too far they'll see the setup. So keep it a nice tight spread, put the first face down card there and these cards to the bottom. And it's also important to remember that as you riffle through, get past the first few at the top rather quickly, because you don't want them to see any cards that are face up. So once again, you just go through till they say stop, turn them over, go through and remove that card, and you've just forced and located the 4 aces. Dottie, if you would, just reach in and take out any card at all.
Okay.
Look at it, remember what it is.
All right.
And as I cut the cards, just go ahead and place your card back
Okay.
right there.
Yes.
And we'll bury it in the pack. So your card is now lost. Oh, I've got a card upside down. Your card is now lost somewhere in the pack, okay?
Right.
Look, I'm going to try to find it in an unusual manner
Okay.
with my hair, which I don't have much of, but I'll make the best of it. Look,
All
we
right.
reach up, grab a hair, wrap it around the pack, and give it a tug. And
That's
up
my
comes
card.
1 card.
3 of diamonds.
To do this trick, you're going to control a card to the top of the pack. Now, there's a lot of sleight of hand ways to do this, but we're going to use an easy, non-sleight method. To do this, just have the bottom card reversed, a joker or any card, maybe an advertising card. It's on the bottom and it's reversed. Have a spectator select any card at all, and then as you cut packets to the table, you'll place their card here, and you'll put the reverse card on top of it. It acts like a key card like we did earlier. As you mention the fact that their card is lost in the deck, it's a simple matter to just spread through and show, oh, I've got 1 card that's reversed. Cut the pack at that point, putting the reverse card on the bottom, and you've now controlled their card to the top so that you can reveal it. The method I used was a very old method where you pretend to pull the card out of the pack with an invisible hair. And the way you do this is by simply grabbing the deck like this, pretending to wrap a thread or a hair around there, and pulling, and at the same time just kicking up with your thumb. So from the front, it looks like that. Hampton Ridge Magic would like to thank you for purchasing this video on Card Magic. Hampton Ridge offers a variety of magic videos. Contact your local dealer for more information.